Hi guys, so in this video I will be explaining how I did this kind of effect, which is inspired by these shapes which are made by Armin Hoffman. So first I will show you a short video that I made explaining basically how this effect is made, and then I will show you how it is made in TouchDesigner. I started off by creating a shape. I then use the line smooth pop inside a feedback pop to give the effect of the line shrinking. I also use the line resample, and I will explain it later in the tutorial why I use this operator. To handle collisions, I use the field pop. In the field pop, we will need to specify the position of the fields and their respective radius. The field pop generates a weight attribute for every point of a line. This attribute indicates if a point is inside the field, and if it is, how close that point is to the center of the field. We will use this attribute later. We will then calculate a vector by subtracting the position of the center of the field from each line's point position. I then multiply that vector by the weight attribute, which ensures that only the points near the edge of the fields are affected. Finally, I scale the vector by a strength value, and this value needs to be a negative value, since we want the points to move away from the fields. And this is the result we get. If I delete the line resample, which I added earlier, you can see that the line breaks apart. So that's why it's important to have a line resample. Okay, so I will start by splitting the view. So we can see the output here, and I will be making this project the square. And I can already start by adding a render and a camera. I will make this also a square. So I will start by creating a way to generate a shape using my mouse, and I will use panel and select the inside view and inside view. So now we have the mouse coordinates, and I will connect this to a trail. And then if I make this into a pop, check 2, you can see that something is going on. So I will make this only when the hooks, so it will only create the shape if I'm moving my mouse, and also row length. So to start nothing, then create something. I also want to only create that shape when I'm pressing my mouse. So I will select here the select. So only when I'm pressing my mouse that turns on. So I will use this as the active. Let's close here. So only when I'm pressing the mouse, it creates the shape. And I also will make this closed. And to generate another shape, instead of always clicking here, I want to click on the key 1. So if I click 1, it turns on the channel, and whenever I click it, I will clear that shape. So if I press one, it deletes, and if I make another one, it starts. So I will render this geometry and make a line. And make this white. So I also need to make the camera orthographic and bottom left and one. So now you can see it's working. We also have a problem that whenever I start the shape, it doesn't start where I clicked. It starts like right here. You can see instead of starting here, it creates a point here. And you can do that by using the trim shop. So we will do that. We will delete the first sample. So now it starts where I want. Now I will also resample this because I want it to have like even spaces in between. So you can see that there's a big gap here, and then here it has too many points. So the line resample, you can just make a distance between points and have a number like this. So now it's better. So now we will start the effect that I showed. You can start with a feedback and then align smooth. Also make a null here so we can then feed it to the feedback like this. And I will make this lower. So whenever you start the feedback, you can see that it's shrinking down. And I will render the points so you can see better what's going on. Yeah, this. So I also want to, whenever I draw a shape, I want to see that shape, and whenever I stop drawing the shape, I want the feedback to start. So we can do that by using a switch. So I'll make it like this. So I want to draw the shape, and whenever I stop making the shape, this switches to the feedback. So you can do that by, say I want this channel, Maybe I will use it with a select. So make this invert. Yeah, something like this. So we can use this value in here. Let's see. Let's start. Then it also needs to be here. So draw shape and then it starts the feedback. Use a binary sample, like I said. By points, you can maybe use the same value. It's okay. And now we need to calculate the collisions. So I will first create a grid. With just points, and let's start with like 4x4 grid. And then let's use a field. And I also want to see these points in my render, so I will create a circle. And let's create a constant where we can then later change the size of the circles. So I'll start by like 0.1. This will be our size of the circles. And then I will use this as an instance. So here, maybe turn on and use this and translate 0, 1, and 2. Put this on the center, so it's this. And I will maybe make the size smaller, so 0.5 or 0.8. So now we feed that grid into the field close by here, and the radius will be the same. So this, and now we need to specify the location of each point, and we will need these attributes, so tx, ty, tz for each point. But you can see that if we look here, there's no tx, ty, and tz for the points. So we need to create a new attribute, we can just use a math mix. So let's see here and say that p0 will be tx, so it creates the tx, and then do the same for 1, ty, and also tz, like this. So now you can see that this is, you can no longer change it here because you already set that up. We will, okay, so let's see. We'll stop this and you can see that you have one attribute called weight, but I want to have for each point a different weight, and you do that by setting this on. So now each point will have many weights, and that's what we want. So we will also need to use a transition range. I find these values to be the best ones. I'll also use easy in, ease out. So now I need to calculate each field's vectors. And to do that, I will use a replicator. So I will make base here. So matrix. So I'll use a replicator inside here. And I'll actually use, so I'll collapse this. This will be my math 1, or maybe field 1. And number will be, I'll select the info here so I can see how many fields I have. This. So now I will make I need to know the field position, so I'll make a field position, and I will select the first like position of the field. So each each base here will have a different field. So I'll select this, and I want this this row here. So I will call my string my parent. I will call my parent digits. It is a string. And the first column, with this, this. This will be my x value, and this will be my y, and C value. So now each one of these has a different value. That's good. So I will make a vector, which is the field's position minus the points. So the points that I create here. And then I will normalize that vector. And then I multiply the vector by the weight. So this vector by this weight. But you can see that we have a number of weights. So if I create this, it's that we have many weights. But for the first one, we need to select the first weight, and so on and so on. So we will write an expression here. So weight and make this into an expression. So parent digits digits so here let's make this correct this, and then we subtract one, so it is the weight 0. This. So now I can see that this is the weight 1, 2, 3. And now we need to call this scale direction. Now we need to make this vector, like invert the vector to go away from the field. So we do this by scale direction and a strength. I will also make here another constant. This just needs to be like 0.5. We can use it here. So let's create another one called strength. Force. So now we need to like connect, so like merge all of these forces. So there's probably a better way to do this, but I will do it like this. So I will select, so make this into a pop, chop, I mean. And here I will select these and so I'll select in every field and I want the P0. So, okay, so don't want the position values, but actually want just the force, so this this value here. Let's see. These values force 0, so force 0. Okay, so yeah, it's working. Okay. So now I will make this the force 1, 2. I will add these together and merge them. And I'll also rename them. So it was from force 0 to 2. Got this. And finally, I will make this into a chop. So make force 0, 1, and 2 into force. So now we have this. And then finally, we add those forces to the line. So just connect this. So let's actually make the math combine. So in this first one, we need the p value. In this one, we want the force. So now just add them together. So p and force. It's one kind of crazy. Let's see. So it's actually a minus b. Let's see. Okay, it is working. So yeah, that's basically it. You can sometimes get these kind of like flickering things. There's many ways you can fix it. This is maybe caused by the line resample, so maybe need to change the value here. You can also have another kind of effects by changing the line smooth and also the transition range. So yeah, that's basically it. Maybe increase the number of fonts. Also, maybe instead of connecting like the this null here, like the end of the feedback, you can grab like the line resample. I mean, yeah, here you can have like a more smooth uh, line instead of using the end of the feedback. So yeah, that's pretty much it.